In this video, we're going to debunk 3 groups of individuals that I completely disagree with when it comes to Bitcoin. The first group, which I honestly can't even believe exists, is the group that thinks that Bitcoin is a Ponzi scheme. In fact, a giant Ponzi scheme, according to the former Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, Boris Johnson. I thought we left this back in 2013, 2014. Turns out there are still people that believe that Bitcoin is a Ponzi, which is factually incorrect. So we're going to debunk that together on today's video. The second group will be the ones that have 100% full confidence that 60K for Bitcoin was the absolute low of this cycle, which I don't believe to be true as well. And finally, the anti-Bitcoin for-year cyclists that have already been proven wrong, but I just want to take that as an excuse to share what I think will happen next. So if today's topic sounds interesting to you, please do me a favor and destroy the like button. You can come to the conclusion on whether you want to like the video or not, of course, after you've finished watching. I just thought I can give you a small reminder because it helps us a lot to grow the channel. If you're not a crypto kid yet, we're trying to reach 70,000 subscribers. If you're not subscribed, you can for daily Bitcoin and crypto content. With that said, let's begin with the first group that I disagree with, which is obviously, and I think one that we can all agree is wrong, that Bitcoin is a Ponzi scheme. According to the foreign prime minister, he has a friend that he's been going to church with, and this friend fell into a scammer's trap where they claimed that they will double the money the victim has paid them, which was £500. Initially, they gave the excuse of Bitcoin and crypto, and surprise, surprise, the victim lost the money, and the scam kept on going forward, where I think based off of what I could understand, the victim was asked to deposit more money to these scammers to be able to recoup the full amount of his investment into the scam. And yeah, it's just it's a weird one. It's a weird story, but there's one key thing that's needed to be highlighted and made obvious. Bitcoin here and crypto here is not, well, let's just stick with Bitcoin because crypto can sometimes be a question mark, but Bitcoin is not the actual scam that's being run. It is the scammers that are making the falsified claims who are the people that should be put into the bad light. Bitcoin has done nothing wrong. Bitcoin has just been made an excuse for the scam. And I think it's if we had more education on what Bitcoin is, we would have less and less individuals falling into traps as such as the one that victim fell into. It's quite unfortunate, but it's also wrong to highlight Bitcoin as a Ponzi as a result of this story. Anyways, the former prime minister goes into comparing Pokemon cards to Bitcoin, saying that Pokemon cards have more intrinsic value than of Bitcoin. And what if Bitcoin was to get decrypted? Who controls it? Who's in charge? Who are we going to go to and ask for our money back? Mr. Boris Johnson, that's the whole point of Bitcoin. No intrinsic value? Wrong. Bitcoin's value comes from its unconfiscatability and its ability to grant financial sovereignty to every individual on Earth, regardless of their nationality, beliefs, or location. Gold can be, for example, confiscated. He gives gold as an example too. He thinks that gold and Pokemon cards are better. For sure, Pokemon cards I disagree with, but okay, gold, yes, does have intrinsic value. I just think that Bitcoin has more value than gold because gold can be confiscated by governments. The US did exactly this in 1933, and it cannot be sent across borders instantly and is not actually finite. Mining supply increases every year by about 2%. Bitcoin's hard cap of 21 million is enforced by mathematics, not promises. Speaking of maths, no authority or accountability is the point. The mathematics is what governs Bitcoin. Math is not wrong. Math is not biased. Math is factual. So there is no trusted entity that can secretly print more Bitcoin without you knowing about, that you can ironically go and complain when something is wrong about Bitcoin. Instead, math is what governs it, and it creates total amount of justice with no human intervention involved. The third point he made was it depends entirely on collective belief. Every single asset in the world needs collective belief that it has value. For example, we all need to collectively believe that a $20 US dollar note is worth $20. If all Americans suddenly stopped disregarding that $20 note with $20 of value, then it will not have $20 of value. If you want assets to go up in value, you need more and more people to invest into it. That's just how it works. But Bitcoin now has the largest institutions backing it, including BlackRock, Fidelity, MicroStrategy, and nation states like El Salvador, Bhutan, and the United Arab Emirates. The fourth point was that it needs a constant supply of fools, which we kind of covered in the third as well. And the fifth is that he believes the jig will be up. Essentially, that he thinks that it will be over soon. Bitcoin has been declared dead over 430 times since 2010. It has survived Mt. Gox's collapse, China banning it multiple times, the FTX fraud, and multiple 80% crashes, reaching new all-time highs thereafter. If this was a Ponzi, it is the most resilient one in history, and it is perfectly to be a Bitcoin skeptic. It's just that you need to move on from it and understand and study money, and come to the realization that fiat is the real Ponzi and Bitcoin is anti-Ponzi. A Ponzi scheme, by definition, is where issuers promise artificially high rates of return with little or no risk. Bitcoin has no issuer, and its value is purely determined by the free market. The code is totally public and opt-in. Nobody forces you to buy Bitcoin. So I hope we have debunked the claim that Bitcoin is a Ponzi. Let's move on to the next. Phew. Okay, that was the easiest argument to win, I think. Secondly, I don't believe that there is a 100% certainty that $60,000 was the absolute bottom for Bitcoin. And this crosses over into the third group of people that I disagree with, which are the anti-4-year Bitcoin cyclists. Obviously, the 4-year cycles have proven to be true once more. In the 18th of December of 2025, we pointed out that it takes 1,064 days to go from low to high of each Bitcoin cycle, proven with 3 historical examples, and that the top has always occurred Q4 of post-halving year, proven by 4 data sets now, which is very strong in making extrapolation. So we've been on the better side of history. We even predicted that the bull market was over when Bitcoin was at 96K. We gave multiple sets of data proving why that is to be true. And thankfully, Bitcoin did not break our hearts, and it went with the mathematical probabilities of it being the top. And currently we sit at 70Ks. See, can 60K have been the low? It's possible, but I wouldn't give it full certainty. And I'm personally not taking my positionings into a direction where 60K was the low. I am buying Bitcoin on almost a daily basis, adding to my spot bag without leverage. And additionally, I am adding to my 2x leverage long trades on my personal account and the one I have publicly open over on Levex, which you can sign up to view those trades with the first link in the description below. And if you want to trade things like the S&P, which I'm very bearish on, you can go to BTCC to get up to a 20% deposit bonus. So I am, yes, dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin because I believe that 71.7 is fair value for what Bitcoin has to offer to society. But I am not taking 60x leverage trades because I think that there's a good chance that this is far from being over. We were pointing out QT bear market correlation. When it was there, Bitcoin followed it exactly. Now I want to focus on the midterm year correlation, which was another data point that both me and my friend Ben Cowan were highlighting so aggressively. Bitcoin is following the midterm years perfectly. And I don't see a strong enough reason to why Bitcoin will not bottom in Q4 of midterm years like it has done so in every other cycle, just like it has topped out in Q4 of post-halving year of every other cycle. Simple logics, right? Simple logical explanations behind it. I think that 70 is fair value. We called for the estimated production cost of Bitcoin to be fallen to. We have fallen to 70K. I'm buying, right? It was a video we made many weeks ago now. But you know, if things have already gone to plan for the tops, why shouldn't it go to plan for the lows too? The same people that discourage the 4-year cycle now discourage the ability of Bitcoin going to even lower prices, right? It's the same group of people that are sour. So I'm just on the front of not being that guy. Obviously, the geopolitics globally are not good, and they don't seem to be getting into a better direction. That will be even worse for the S&P 500, which is what Bitcoin tracks, because Bitcoin tracks liquidity, and liquidity is correlated almost by 100% to the S&P. So I am, yes, buying Bitcoin now, but I think we will go ultimately lower before finding the lowest low and continuing into a new cycle. Even Sam Brenner, from the farmer from the 1800s, predicted the harvest crop cycles and its relative correlation to markets all across the world. We even said that 2026 would be the top. So for me, in the short term, if we break above 72, 2 daily confirmations, I think we go to the bull and bear market support band sitting at 84K. Then I think we get a rejection. We find our low, wherever that's going to be, and then we start our new bull cycle. Guys, that concludes our video for today. Stay tuned on the channel because tonight I will be uploading another video going through 2 important points of analysis that are relevant for Bitcoin's charts. If you want to see it, stay tuned for tonight. Destroy the likes, turn on the notification bell. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye-bye.